Mel and her spouse were discussing how things have been going well in their job and that Mel was up for promotion as well. Both of them decided that it was about time to upgrade from the current 3-room flat that they have staying, especially since they had plans to eventually have another kid and they would need the extra space. They mutually came up with a set of criteria that they felt is needed in their new property. Mel did not want to hire a real estate agent as she hopes to save on the agent fees. Feeling excited to commence her property search, Mel uses her phone to access PropLocate on her way to work. She input that she is looking for a 5-room resale flat. PropLocate generates a series of listings that are all 5-room resale flats. Wanting to narrow her search further, Mel inputs a budget of $650K and she is interested in looking for flats in the east area. She also prefers bus stops, MRT stations, and food courts to be located nearby. In addition, the property needs to be a walking distance to a primary school and childcare center. Based on the criteria input by Mel, PropLocate generates some property listings that best meet her criteria. Mel looks through and compares the listings based on the number of criteria each listing fulfills. She looks through individual details of the listing that fulfills the most criteria. On top of details of the listing, Mel also looks through previous inquiries of users who visited the flat. She finds out that a 5-room Tampines flat has an air condition installed and that the house is well renovated. She also finds out that the west sun hits the apartment. Satisfied by the listing, Mel puts it aside for future reference. She repeats the above for other listings that catch her eye. Revisiting the listing she put aside, Mel finds that she is impressed by 2 flats in particular, a 5-room flat in Tampines and another 5-room flat in Punggol. She finds both flats seems to fulfill her criteria. She decides to compare more closely to the individual criteria met by Tampines and Punggol flats. On comparing the two, Mel has a greater preference for the Tampines flat. She decides to examine the listing in greater detail, hoping to find what's near the Tampines flat. She decides she would like to go down and view the Tampines property. Mel chooses a date and time that is convenient for her. She also shares the property listing to her spouse so that the spouse is aware of the listing details and the date and time for the house viewing. Mel is excited to check out this new property that she found through PropLocate. Maybe this will be the house of her next step in life.